All right, man, peace. So, I'm watching this CBS Morning News, and they covering some type of issue or some form of controversy at Penn State. This time, not in regards to child molestation, but in regards to their fraternity and sorority system. So, let's see what occurred here.
Okay, fraternities and sororities may disappear from one of the nation's largest universities. Penn State's president used an open letter to slam years of bad behavior by students in the Greek system.
Yeah, but I mean that's what goes on in almost every fraternity or sorority house and system. That's what it's set up for. It's a brotherhood and a sisterhood based on the brotherhoods and sisterhoods in the Babylonian mystery school system. That's what they're based on. It's always based on sexual hazing.
He cites alcohol abuse, hazing, and sexual assault. The school has faced intense scrutiny since February when sophomore Timothy Piazza died after a fraternity party accident. Michelle Miller is on the Penn State campus in State College, Pennsylvania. Michelle, good morning.
Good morning. Well, this is a part of Fraternity Row. That is a frat house now banned by the school, and all of this made the front page of the local paper.
Now you see where she's at. Almost all colleges are laid out in that manner. They're always laid out with a lot of woodlands and trees because the college system is based off of the ancient grove system. All right, the grove would be where you would go to worship the mother goddess or the sun god, the moon goddess, the gods of nature. It's known in the Bible as the groves. Right? You would go out to the groves and you'd worship the planets or the celestial bodies or so-called quote unquote nature itself. And it was based off, metaphorically, it was based off of the teachings of the forefathers and foremother known as Semiramis, like I laid out previously. A lot of the so-called pagan mythological systems are coded. They're encoded based off of teachings that were created by Cush. All right. Cush, the son of Ham, or as he was known as, or as Ham was properly known as Cum. Right. Where the brothers that are into the Afrocentric stuff called Kemet, that comes from Chem, known in the Bible as Ham. All right. So he had a son named Cush, who Cush developed a lot of the system of pagan worship that we know of today, or that we might call the ancient Babylonian and Egyptian mystery school system. I covered this in a previous video. All right. He led an apostasy against the worship of the Most High. He's the one who was involved in creating a confederacy amongst all nations. And he was the one who was involved with the building of the so-called main ziggurat in Babylon after the flood. All right, he wanted to reinvigorate a lot of the teachings of the ancients that existed before the flood. Now, once his apostasy was cast down, it was his son Nimrod took over, or as he's known in the different so-called mythological systems like Egypt or Babylon. Nimrod was also known as Osiris. Nimrod was also known as Kronos or Saturn. He was also known as Thor. All right. He's also known as Balder. He's also known as Baal or Molech. All right. Cush is known in the different cultures as Thoth or Manes or Bel or what else was he known as? Mercury, Hermes. Right. The name Hermes literally means son of Ham. OK. So now when we get to the modern day college system, like I mentioned earlier, that's why when you go to college, you're basically going through the curriculum. You're you're learning the rites. When I say rites, I mean rites, the rites of Bacchus. Right? Bacchus was a Greek name for Nimrod. The name literally means the son of Cush, Bacchus. Right? The son of Cush, Nimrod. This is why when you graduate from college, you get what's known as a baccalaureate degree. OK, when you're on campus, you're known as a bachelor. Look up the term bachelor. Right. The term bachelor and baccalaureate, they have the same root term. Is the Bacchus. All right. Bacchus was the god of wine and revelry. This is why when people go to college, what do they engage in? Wine, revelry, as well as orgies. He was a god of orgies. Right. The plant that represented him was known as the ivy leaf. Right? Why is that? Because in Greek, the word for ivy was kisos. Right? So kisos not only represented the ivy leaf, but kisos was also the Greek way to say Cush. You understand? So he was the branch of Cush. Branch was another way to say offspring. Okay, so that brings us to where we are now with the fraternities on the college campus. All right, so now let's see what she has to say here.
But it was in a blog post that the university's president announced that measures taken to crack down on bad behavior by Greek letter organizations have failed. And if things don't change, she says, they could disappear from campus. Penn State's impressive fraternity and sorority homes are a symbol of long-standing tradition.
Why is that? A lot of times the fraternity and the sorority homes look better than any of the buildings on campus. Why is that? Because they get private funding from their alma mater, right? Who also went through the fraternity and sorority system and who are promised great jobs and careers after college for going through those systems. Okay, that's why they get so much private funding for those fraternity and sorority houses. All right. Now, the term alma mater means nourishing mother. Right. Why is that? Because like I said earlier, when you go to college and you go on campus, that is the modern day Grove. You're learning the rituals and the rites of Bacchus and also his mother. All right. I believe the name of Bacchus's mother was Cybele. I think it was Cybele. OK, she was known as the mother of knowledge. Right. Or Diana was another one of her names. Right. So the college is your alma mater. That is the nourishing mother. OK.
17% of the university's students are members of Greek life. The school tightened up its party policy earlier this year by banning kegs and hard liquor at parties. Among other things, it also started unannounced compliance checks. In an open letter posted online Monday, Penn State President Dr. Eric Barron said, despite the guidelines, 9 of the university's 82 fraternities and sororities broke rules during Parents' Weekend. There are signs that the bad behavior will not end with our rules. It will just go underground.
Of course it will go underground because the so-called Babylonian mystery school system went underground when it faced affliction after Nimrod was killed. All right, that's just what happens. They go underground. And the so-called fraternity and sorority, the rituals that you see there, a lot of the sexual rituals, that's a very, very watered down version of what really goes on. All right. If you want to go into the highest level version, then you have to look at a lot of outright Satanism. I mean, we'll probably cover that in another video when it's pertinent. But a lot of these rituals are, they're used to going underground. Right. The rituals are more important to the believers in the rituals than even going to school.
Never in a million years are they going to close those fraternities down.
Caitlin Flanagan is a contributing editor to The Atlantic.
College presidents, they have almost no power.
Damn, you heard that? College presidents have no power. They have no power in comparison to the private donors of fraternities and universities. Fraternities like Skull and Bones, which is probably the most powerful fraternity on the planet Earth right now. All right. Skull and Bones is where they recruit the next generation of politicians, judges, top military generals, businessmen, oil magnates, right? Investment bankers, etc. That's where they go. That's where the Bushes got their start. We'll probably cover that on another video. All right. But that's where Prescott Bush got his start.
The fraternities are privately owned organizations. They take place off campus in privately owned houses on privately held land.
According to Penn State, Greek life community members at the college are 4 times more likely to be heavy drinkers, and sorority women are 50% more likely to be sexually assaulted.
Yeah, they're 50 times more likely to be sexually assaulted because A, they're normally drunk. So when they're drunk, they engage in sexual intercourse and a lot of times can't remember what happened and then cry rape. Or they actually get so fallen down drunk that they get raped while they're sleeping. That's why women should not be drinking to that type of excess around men, which takes me back to the Michael Irvin video. See how that works?
In February, sophomore Timothy Piazza slipped down a flight of stairs while partying at the Beta Theta Pi fraternity house.
Allegedly. Allegedly, he slipped down some damn stairs. Who knows? The man might have saw something he wasn't supposed to see and got bust upside the back of his damn head.
He died 2 days later. Penn State banned the chapter after the incident. In 2015, the fraternity Kappa Delta Rho received a 3-year suspension for hazing, selling drugs, underage drinking, and harassing women.
Now, when they say they got a 3-year suspension for hazing, that obviously means some form of sexual degeneracy. You know, these guys, a lot of times, they're always infatuated with sticking stuff up people's backside. All right, why is that? Because in the original Bacchanalian rituals, it always involved homosexuality. Why? Because Nimrod was a bisexual, so it was Cush. All right, for those of you brothers who are so Afrocentric out there, when you study a lot of these so-called Nilotic tribes, a lot of them deal with bisexuality. All right, you can see a video called Mondo Magic, and you'll see a lot of the Hamitic tribes engaging in blood drinking. They have a ritual where they walk into an elephant's backside, his anus, and come out of his mouth. Right, they walk through the entire alimentary canal of an elephant, the entire digestive canal from the anus, and come out through the mouth. All right, and they engage in bisexual orgies. All that comes from Nimrod and his father Cush. You know, for a lot of you people who claim to be so pro-blackity black, why don't y'all make a video doing that type of stuff?
And it's not just Penn State. Connor Donnelly, a student at Binghamton University in New York, died while climbing a balcony during a frat party in March.
No, he died being a jackass. Big fat ass Spider-Man.
Fall, Jeff Nepali, a sorority member at the University of Connecticut, was run over and killed after leaving a frat party.
Leaving a frat party, drunk out of her mind, stumbled into the middle of the damn street and probably got hit by a truck.
I'd love to see a college president really take a stand against this, but you know where the leadership has to come from? Inside the fraternities themselves.
In a statement to CBS News, Penn State's Interfraternity Council's executive board addressed President Barron saying, quote, "We would like to work with him on these issues, but express disappointment that President Barron chose to write an open letter and post it online rather than talking to the Greek community first." Nora?
This broad is so unprofessional. They couldn't even get her a cue card so that she could read it while looking at the camera. Look like a fake ass Sheila E.
Yeah, Michelle, thank you. I mean, that would be a big change. So getting consensus on it before making it public, but that would be precedent. So.
Oh, yes, it would. It would be a big statement for all colleges across the country.
All right.
Anyway, I just wanted to cover this because, I mean, that's just part of the debauchery that goes on in the university system, the college campus system, which is, like I stated before, totally based on the worship of the god Bacchus, as well as his mother/wife, Cybele, if I remember is her name, Cybele. But she also goes by other names, Demeter, Demeter. Like you see a lot of times the sisters that go into the sororities, they throw up the triangle, right? What they call a rock symbol, with Jay-Z Rockefeller. That's just the triangle. That's the delta symbol representing the portal between the physical world and the spiritual world. All right, that's the worship of the mother goddess. But anyway, we cover what we need to cover. Peace.